There are so few differences between the Note 2 and the Note 3s that we're not even going to do a comparison video. There just wasn't enough different. They have the same octa-core processor, although the Note 3 is a little bit upgraded. They have the same RAM, battery, and the same USB port, the same weight, dimensions, glow light, and screen. They're pretty much identical all the way down to the overall shell. There are some differences which we will mention right now is that this is running Android 10. It has Bluetooth 5 versus Bluetooth 4 on the previous gen. The upgraded octa-core processor is a little bit more refined, and it has a two-tone color strip down below. Now let's get started. This review isn't going to be as much of a deep dive because it's so similar to the Note 2. You can check out that video on our YouTube channel. So we have library, store, notes. So where all your notes will be, storage, applications, and settings. This is where all your settings are going to be for updates, Wi-Fi, date and time, etc. Fortunately, even though this is one of the latest releases from Onyx, we are still left with this very uninspired pen. It's a very cheap plastic pen. It does have an eraser button on the back and the side. The lapel clip is plastic, the nib is plastic, and there's nothing particularly amazing about this pen, but it is definitely industry standard. Although you have the ability to sideload in any application you want on this device, the stock reader does have a decent amount of functionality, all the way down to long pressing, so you can open up your secondary menu, you can jump to certain segments, you can add notes, annotations, bookmarks at the top right corner, and you have a floating bar here that you can also collapse and get rid of. The navigation ball is also able to be toggled on or off, although it does come in handy with a number of different icons that you can manually change yourself, and it doesn't matter where you put it on the screen, it's always going to justify itself so that it doesn't cut anything off. It's a very nice piece to have. Onyx does have an app store built in, but there is only about 45 applications, so I'd recommend actually using Google Play on this device than their proprietary app store. If you don't see it right out of the gates, Enable Google Play is located in the settings menu, and it's as easy as just pressing it, and it will say go to the activation page, and away you go. Out of the box, the PDF engine is very good, although again, because it's running Android, you can download any PDF application you want. Page turns are very quick and snappy in the normal mode. We'll mention modes in a bit. And you do have the ability to draw right away. They used to have it so that you had to go to the menu, open up Scribble, etc. It was a lot of workarounds and a lot of steps just to be able to take notes, but now it is all very quick, and you do have the ability to pinch and zoom and navigate around the page with 2 fingers or 1. It is all very intuitive and very nice, and you can actually add yourself some annotations by long pressing things as well, so they pretty much have you covered in any way, shape, or form on this device. Onyx has basically secured themselves the seat of having the fastest e-readers on the market, and in which case they've actually changed their promotional approach to their products. They actually call their devices tablets first and foremost now, and modes exist on everything from the Poke line, which is 6 inches, all the way up to the Max line, which is 13.3. Modes are basically normal, speed, A2, and X. It basically means normal, fast, faster, and fastest. So having it on speed, you'll see that the quality decreases around. Having it on A2 mode, it decreases that much more, and having it on X mode makes it the worst possible viewing experience you can imagine, and a lot of staining on the screen. But with this comes the amazing ability to just cycle through things super quick, open up whatever you want. It just snappily opens right up. Page turn animations are gone. Look how fast that is. It has all become very tablet-like, and this is because X mode actually limits the amount of refresh almost to 0, adds a whole bunch of staining, but the trade-off is that it's extremely fast. So that is something you're going to have to take into account, is that X mode even allows you to watch videos, which we're going to check out right now. Note-taking is where it's at with these devices because they are basically note-taking tablets first and foremost. You can draw right away. You have various different pens, for everything from pencil, which looks just like a pencil. It's very fantastic. You have markers, so you can open up things like highlighting. And you have shapes, which not a lot of devices allow you to do shapes. These are geometric, perfect shapes, so it'll be perfect for drafting, making lines and floor plans, etc. They also have you with 8 different colors. Only 4 of them show up on screen. 1 is the absence of color, and the rest just show up as red, green, and blue respectively. And what this means is that if you were to draw like this, that is actually going to be red, green, or blue when you export the document. So if you're grading pages, it'll be red, etc. They also have a bunch of things that have to do with text you can add using the keyboard, or you can actually draw. So if I draw an H is going to show up there as well, and you can actually dictate your text as well. Hello, this is a note. And you've just made your notes right on the page, so they really leave it up to you as to how to make your notes on this device. You can disable the touch panel, although you don't really need to, because even with it enabled, this has very good palm rejection technology in which I can touch and move around 5 points on the screen, and it does not affect the actual writing itself. You also have the ability to refresh, add new pages, and save and export in various different ways, as well as inserting pictures and clip art. You can also click on the AI button or the A cursor button, and you have 2 ways to translate your text. You have original recognition, in which case it does it exactly where you've written it on the page, but you have the ability to not only change the text, but you can actually move it around. Or you can use reflow recognition, in which case it will justify everything as if you're writing it right there. So that is, well, as I've just written, very good. Split screen is also an incredibly useful application, and it's not even an application, it's found on the top drop-down menu. You just click split screen. You don't even have to isolate yourself with a notepad and a PDF like some Sony devices, etc. You can actually do anything. You can choose, for example, the web browser on this side and a PDF on this side, and you can go down to here and click split screen again, and you can actually swap the panels. Either that, or you can click each respective thing yourself. So it's not so much that split screen is taking over, it's effectively split down the middle your entire device's UI into 2 separate elements. So you have full functionality over here, you have the ability to take notes, and then when you go over here you can go to all of your websites, use your keyboard, etc. It's completely open. The glow light as well has remained totally unchanged from the last generation of devices to this one, so you still get the warm lighting, which you can turn up or down, or you get the regular lights, which is white and blue combination LEDs, or a mixture of the two. Is the Note 3 worth the upgrade over the Note 2? We totally think so. Although it looks roughly the same, it is a little bit more stylish with that two-tone strip down below. It does have more modern version of Android and Bluetooth, and the overall processor has been refined and upgraded. So it's kind of the situation where even though you don't need the added hardware, it's nice to have it in case you need it. We've gone through as much as we possibly could on this device. Again, it's very similar to the Note 2, so if you did want to see more of an in-depth deep dive, you can check out that on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/goodereader. And for a full review of the Onyx Boox Note 3, this is Peter.